an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
I think that when black parents send their black children to an all-white school, class, organization under the guise of enhancing their sense of superiority for the parent or the child, I think that is furthering colonial abuse. I think that's a form of child abuse. Of saying, oh, it's a better education, it's a better neighborhood, it's more quality. And so they're already associating all whiteness or predominant whiteness with more quality. Yes, we know that black schools and black children are intentionally not given resources. Miseducation happens. We all know that at this point. Sending them somewhere where they already have to face the ramifications of being the extreme minority. They look different. Their little minds are still forming. I don't know what I would have done. Me knowing what I know about the world right now and me having been in predominantly white spaces from the ages 0, 10, even during adolescence, puberty, just to think to have been scrutinized by something as important as race during those formative years, that does something to your brain. I know a lot of people, a lot of my black friends, a lot of your black friends too, that you can tell something happened during their formidable years and that whiteness was injected in them. And they can't get it out now. And no shade to white people. I mean, I got a lot of white friends. They don't send their white children into black spaces, not intentionally. They don't do that. Maybe when I said the words.
I kind of agree with that. And, well, I do agree with that. But if you do send your kids into white spaces, understand, like if it's something like school, it's probably you move to an area that you can't really control how many white people live in the area, but if you move there for that reason, that's what she's saying. But if you say if you join karate class or if you have a basketball team, it's okay to be on a diverse basketball team. It's okay to be on an all black basketball team, but I'm gonna tell you, there's one thing that I'm going to tell you how it worked out for myself. When my son played football, we played for an all black team, black coaches, all black parents. One of the things we saw was like a lot of unorganized stuff. There was fights at the games, but that's anybody. But anybody can do that. You be the mamas. If you can't control your wife, you need to leave her ass at home. But I say this, I said, okay, I'm not putting him on this team next year because he's not growing as a football player. They're not teaching him to play football. I took him out of the area to another football team. He started loving it more. He started playing more, playing better, playing different positions that he could play, not just because the coach's son is this and that, and he was playing where the coaches took time to figure out his strengths and weaknesses. Then you see him at wide receiver, tight end, defensive end, all these different positions, trying him out until he got solidified in a great position. So then when he moved on to the next level, he was just on fire. And I think when you look at it like that, there's a difference in the level of competition, a difference in knowledge that you're going to receive versus taking them to an all black space. Sometimes all black spaces aren't the best place for your child to grow into. So like I said, I had to take him to a white coach where most of the team was white. There were black players, but of course, the main black player, running back, wide receiver, whatever the case may be. But I think they had a white quarterback and a black quarterback. But my point is, it was a mixed space, but for the most part, it was a white space, and it was a much better space because of the experience that my kid got. Just having your kid in black spaces isn't always the best thing for the kid. Just in that these are different. It's not every time, but for that time for me, that's what I acknowledged it to.
Superiority, we didn't know who it was directed towards. I think the parents, in order to enhance their own sense of superiority, send their kids into these spaces. And by proxy, their children might get, it might trickle down to them. But I think the parents, oh, my kid goes to a white school. My kid lives in a white neighborhood. I remember when I was a ballerina and my mom put me in, I think it was ages 3 to 10, I did ballet. And in the beginning, I was in this all white school. Me with my little thick, coarse black hair, long pigtails. And I'm in the class with all these beautiful blondes. And in the 80s, we didn't have many Barbie dolls that looked like me. So all my dolls, the majority of my good dolls were the white dolls. So this was in the 80s that this was still happening, still during my childhood. So the dolls were still all white and beautiful. And now I'm seeing these little girls and on TV. Remember, that was not a push for beautiful black hair. Sesame Street just did I Love My Hair with Willow Smith a few years ago. So when I was a kid, my dolls looked like these little girls in the class, had this beautiful blonde hair, these big blue eyes. I saw that as beautiful, and I wasn't represented. Media, dolls I played with, even in our textbooks, there was not people that looked like me. The only time we saw people like us in textbooks was during Black History Month, when they showed all the enslaved Africans that the United States government had, took their lives. And, well, okay, that's a whole nother topic. So I didn't see me in the form of beauty. So putting me in this space made me feel, and I distinctly remember how I felt. I wanted my hair straight like these little girls. I wanted my hair color to change. My skin was brown. Theirs was, I don't know what you call it. It's not white. Peach, like this color, I guess. No, the skin was not olive, because they're not considered olive skin. And this is the South. I grew up in Tennessee. So, I mean, come on. Just like I never saw signs of beauty in myself, those little girls never saw anything beautiful that looked like me. So they treated me differently, and they were nice kids. I mean, it was learned behavior. Being in that space, even looking back on it, felt like abuse. It felt wrong. It felt so isolated. Diversity is important for all races, like for all of us. We all need to know. It wasn't until I moved to New York City that I started to actually get white friends, and I learned the difference between a Dominican person and a Mexican person and a somebody from Cuba. Like that, it wasn't until I moved here. Growing up in the South, I didn't have that type of exposure. Now, when our kids go to private schools, it's separated by economics and who has the most money in New York City. Now there's another problem that we run into. But
so again, this goes into the topics that we was talking about before. I mean, the last lady was talking about how it's like a cultural thing where it might feel like that you feel better than your peers, your black peers, when you send your kids to a white school. Especially like when your friends, y'all get together and they see your house and you be like, oh, come look at my house. I live out here in Deer Creek. And he's in an all white school and your kid busts in the house. Mom, kid busts in the house saying, just, me and Cody want to go, do, something. Or just, they come in and on that white shit because they doing what the white friends do. And I don't know. It's not really a specific thing that white kids do. They just do, But you like, Mom, Cody just cussed out his mom. And you be like, don't you ever cuss me out. I'll knock you in the next week. So I think those lessons are the ones that your kids understand. I ain't finna play with my mom. My mom is still a black woman, but they don't understand when they hear their friend cuss out their mom and then they try it, But then your friends or your family members, especially your family members, because I know I play too much. I ain't gonna lie, I play too much. But I call my little niece, I was like my little ghetto niece, and she not ghetto because she went to she went to a private school. I think she did. Like she got accepted into a smarter school, and I always tease her because I call her my little ghetto niece, but she not ghetto at all. She's very nice and well mannered, and speaks, very good. She ain't a ghetto person, but um, it's a lot of backstory to why I do call her my ghetto niece though. But I love her. But at the same time, I'm not saying that my kids go out to more because they better than my kids or my nieces out. I would never say that because going out to more, that's where I experience all of everything bad besides gangs. I experienced in Moore, Oklahoma, in the city of Moore. It's just like there was gangs, drugs, hella drugs, drinking, underage drinking, lots of sex, lots of lots of you know white girls doing white girl things. Um, there were not racially motivated fights, but like more or less like it was like cowboys versus the emo kids, and so they had their own little rules of gangs, that were different. And but I experienced what I did experience. I experienced a lot of racism from cops. I experienced a lot of like I never got in trouble. Well, I never. Well, I did. I take that back. I did get in trouble once for stealing cars, but the next that was one time. The next time I got in trouble, I was continue to get in trouble. It's because I was being targeted and stereotyped from the police. So I was always getting picked up by the police. And it was just like some of the dumbest stuff. And it's just like, so you gonna take me from where I was, put me in handcuffs, put me in the back of the car, take me to the police station, call my mom to pick me up, just so you can say, oh, he's a troublemaker, and I ain't did nothing. Ain't did a damn thing. But that's how they do you, and that's the one thing I would watch out for when your kids is in these white spaces.
Everyday people.
Day and night. For some women, it can start working in as quick as 1 week.